a very early age, I felt that as a girl, I had kind of a raw deal. I grew up in a family where my father worked, and even though my mother had gone to law school and passed the bar, she was a stay-at-home mom, and I didn't really see many options for myself. I remember writing in a diary the 3 things that I thought I could be when I grew up, and one of them was movie star, one of them was teacher, and the other one was nun. I went to Catholic school and I decided I wanted to be a priest, and I was told I couldn't be a priest. That really annoyed me. In college I did collage animation, then I did some 2D collage. I suddenly became a single parent and the sole support of my daughter, and I realized my little art thing wasn't going to work, so I had to get a full-time job. But that didn't really work out, so I went to a career counselor and she said, "What can you do?" And I said, "I can make collages." And she said, "Well, do that." And I started making little pins and earrings with little collages on them, and then I started adding words to the collages, and that took off. I love garage sales because I love old things. And I saw a stack of ladies' home journals, and it was like a light went off in my head. I bought them, I took them home, and I just started laughing. I felt like these women were saying things to me, that they were, the words were coming from them. And I have become friends with one of the old models, and she told me that the models used to think these ads were so funny too, the way they'd be hugging refrigerators and so forth. So I think the humor was already there on one level. My earliest ones is a picture of women running on the beach, and it says "Born to be Wild," and it just has been selling for 35 years. I like things that are a little bit more offbeat, but a lot of times the captions that I like are not popular. I have a wonderful picture of a woman with an umbrella, and the caption was, "Let a smirk be your umbrella," which to me is hilarious, but apparently not to many people. And I had another picture of a woman with her head on her hands, and she's saying, "Like nature, I abhor a vacuum." And that's another one that didn't sell. So basically, I know if I think it's funny, it's probably not going to sell very well. I love pictures of women doing housework in high heels, with wasp waists and pearls and lipstick. I don't look like that when I do housework. I talked to one model who told me that they used her in a lot of refrigerator ads because she was so petite, it made the refrigerators look big. So I started my business in 1985, and it was pretty small for a long time. In 2006, I was at a trade show, and I saw 2 lines that looked very much like mine. I won't say that it hasn't been upsetting on occasion, but seeing those lines then spurred me to grow my business, because I realized that I was going to have to do more than magnets and cards if I was going to keep a piece of the market. And I started developing a lot of product then, mugs, coin purses, sticky notes, luggage tags, all sorts of things like that. I wanted to have a bigger presence so that I would be seen as the originator. One of the things that has been so wonderful about my career, and the reason that I embarked on it, was so that I could work at home. I loved the freedom to be the kind of mother that I wanted to be there when my daughter got home from school. It might sound like playing into a gender stereotype, but being a parent was the most fun I've ever had. I used to work at a round oak table in our dining room, and my daughter worked at a little table next to mine, and when she wasn't in school, we were making things together. I think she just saw me as somebody who was in charge, which I think is important. I never really felt that my mother had that much control over her life. My daughter works for me. She runs the business side of my business, and she's just brilliant. She values being a parent as much as I valued being a parent. One of the deals that we have, since her daughter was born, she only has to work 5 hours a day because she doesn't want to be working all the time. One of the things that's most rewarding about my work are the emails that I get from women telling me what it's meant to them. I cut out a sentence from an email and stuck it to my printer, and it says, "You made my crappy day better." One woman told me that she had just been having chemo, and she got in her car and found a card on the back seat that she had forgotten was there, and it made her laugh. I'm always surprised that young girls relate to the subtle feminist. And some people have said, oh, she doesn't like men because I make fun of men, but I make fun of women more than I make fun of men. I just make fun of gender. And it kind of surprises me that young girls relate to that, because I would think things had changed much more than they appear to have changed. I really can't give advice to anybody. A lot of women contact me and ask for mentoring, and I do my best, but I just feel I was so lucky. I did something and it hit a nerve and my life changed. Yes, I worked really, 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 really hard. In the beginning, there were a lot of obstacles, and I thought, oh, I can't do this. But I thought, well, gee, if I don't do it, I'm going to have to get a job. And so I did it. And I guess that's the one piece of advice I would give people is don't give up on what you want, but also be lucky.